So the other day I was doing my drawing practice, which I usually do in the early morning, and I realized that I was choosing things to draw that felt safe, meaning that I knew that I could draw. And I also realized that I haven't painted or tried to paint any of my drawings, and that was because I was afraid again of not being able to do it. So today I'm pushing myself to give it a try. And I love collecting seashells. So you can see I have a huge collection here already, and I have many more of these jars with my treasures. And so I've decided to pick a few from this jar that I'm going to just challenge myself today to draw. And I've been learning. I listen to other artists, more experienced artists, talk about drawing in a wider kind of a way. So when I first started, I thought drawing meant just pencil. And then later, or pencil and pen. And then later, I heard artists talking about drawing, but they were painting. So I'm going to adopt that as well and use my brush to draw today. And so I've just chosen this clam shell, and I picked a paint color that I thought closely matched the color of my clamshell, and I'm just giving it a go. And already I feel released of this need to quote unquote do a good drawing. I can tell already that this shell, the clamshell here, like up until this point, I think it was on a good track. And then here, the shape could have been a little bit different, but that's okay because it's starting to look, it looks pretty to me. And I can just try again. And that's why it's called practice, because you do it over and over, and you know that when you do something over and over, you get better at it. And I could stop for a little bit and ask myself, okay, what could I do now at this point to capture the shape of this clamshell better? And I'm not even going to articulate it in words. I'm just going to try and use I have my eye here on the lines of the shell, and I have my hand kind of mimicking the way my eye is moving. Oops. And so by doing it over and over, I get better and better at it. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to try a different strategy, and I'm just going to try and do the overall shape first, the outside shape. And something that I have forgotten about watercolor and using a brush, which I love, is that it's easy to correct. So it's kind of like sculpting, where the sculptor can remove or add as needed to achieve the form that they are aiming for. So I can also do that with my brush. And to some extent, I think that you can do that with a pencil or a pen as well. But I like painting mostly because using a pen or a pencil can be tedious with the lines, creating these small lines here to help communicate the form of an object, whereas I can use the tip of my brush for finer lines like this, or I can use more surface or the flat of the brush like that. There. Okay, it's getting closer and closer to the shape of this shell, and I will just keep practicing.